This is possible. That's possible.
Right? Remember, it's about probabilities in the market, not about what you think, not about, oh, it looks beautiful, the sales are on. No, you're just overthinking. Look at the charts. The charts is going to tell you all the time what it is that you need to do. At the end of the day, I follow the charts, regardless of what anybody can say to me. You could be trading 10 years, you could be posting Lambos on your Instagram and whatever, right? I'm going to stare at my charts. I'm going to look at my charts because I do the same thing consistently all the time. That's why I am where I am, right? So you have to trust your system. You have to trust what it is that you're looking at.
Yo guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are giving you guys back what you've been asking. So a lot of messages and a lot of comments, people have been asking me that they want to see some chart breakdown. So today is actually a day that you're going to get it. So basically, coming up, you're going to see a breakdown of gold this week, which I sent in my VIP. I sent a breakdown of where I wanted the price to go. So take a look, take some gems, get your notebooks out, and yeah, this is a good one for you guys to obviously take on board. So make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and I'm just having some food right now. So I'll see you at the end of the video when you've watched everything and took some notes, but everything else is going to be inside the VIP, right? But enjoy the video. Peace.
As we can clearly see, the market is very much in this area here, right? Let me take this off. We're basically consolidating very heavy, very, very heavy, right? Of course, last week we had a nice evening star. Well, not last week, but a few weeks ago we had a nice evening star, right? This was in June. Yes, June. We had a nice evening star, and that kind of gave us like an idea of the market pushing down, right? It did push down. We got a retracement, and then there was a big rejection here, right? This was a rejection that was telling us no, the market does not want to continue pushing down, right? We know gold has a lot of manipulations, that's for sure, right? Go back to a daily, we can see we had a nice, it was like a head and shoulder pattern here, right? Got the head, you got the shoulder, you got like the right shoulder here, and that completed a lot of the moves, right? So because we are in consolidation, right, the market is going to do exactly what the market is doing right now, right? So you can't, it's going to be going up and down, up and down, up and down, right? Soon it's going to break either below or either above, okay? So the market can literally be dancing in and out of this for as long as it wants to dance, okay? Now, how is that market still bullish or bearish? Potentially, it's still bullish. Why? Because we've got this, right? We've got this, right? That's the highest point. So, yes, we are still in consolidation, but at the same time, it's kind of trying to push up still, right? So, even if the market is pushing down, like so, I'm just waiting to see bullish pressure from these areas for me to go back to the highest point. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, right? So we just focused on these areas, right? And I'm just waiting for the next area around here for it to go back towards the top, right? It's as simple as that. Now I will tell you one thing that you guys need to understand. So many people worry about what happened here and what happened here. You don't need to worry about it. We know we're in consolidation, okay? The one thing that we need to worry about is what's actually happened in these moments, okay, in these moments. Okay, so we had a great sell all the way down here, finished, came to these areas. So now, because it didn't break these lows, we know buyers are still in control. Buyers are still in this market. Okay. So until that market, let's say it decides to break below here, then we know that these buyers are all taken out and now the sellers are in the market to push this further down there. Okay. But we can't be looking at that yet, right? Because what happened last week, well, last week or 2 weeks ago, we had this situation. Is that not a morning star? It's a morning star, followed by this mad candle that happened on a Friday on NFP, changing the whole direction of what we need to see. Now, a lot of people, what you do is they will just be looking at making money. It's not just about making money, it's about identifying and analyzing these markets like an analyst. It's not like we are just going off, guessing or treating the market like it is what it is. We are looking at it as like we react from what the market is giving us. We don't just go in the market and start thinking, yeah, it's time to sell, it's time to buy. No, we need to have reasons for us to do that. As you can clearly see with my buys, right, with this buy bias, right, I've got this nice morning stop, an area of support at the bottom of our area of support, okay, where the price keeps pushing back up. Now, we've had a nice impulse movement from this area. Nice impulse movement. There was nothing stopping that. Now we've had this correction, right, where the market is correcting. And I'm just waiting for good bullish pressure. Now, the market could go even further below if it wants to. I'm not really bothered about that. I'm going to be bothered more about the changes of structure that occurs for us to start looking at highs to go towards the upside. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm looking at with this market. Now, of course, if the market does do that and it gets to where we are here, who knows? We may get a push. We may get the market just coming back down and then doing the same thing again, right? We don't know how long this market is gonna be in this mad consolidation for. Okay. So we have to look at what we have right now. Of course, yes, we had a nice bearish pressure, right? Bearish pressure, but we need to get a retracement. The market needs to create a high, a low, and then for it to go and continue doing what it needs to do, right? So with this situation here, with this section here, I can clearly see everything that's happening in these markets, but I don't really want to be taking trades, okay? Because as you can see, it's very much it's small moves, right? It's not moves that we want to catch. Of course, this was a good move, and if you caught the move from up there, which was obviously last week, we actually did catch a move from there. Not last week, the week before last week, we actually caught that move down, right? And then the price obviously has just retraced right there. And then it's like, okay, cool, we get the breakout. Yes, we could get that, but it's stopping here. You got another consolidation. I'm not really trying to be in these consolidation. Yes, as much as we've got impulse correction, impulse, we've got descending, and so on and so forth. I'm very much wary in taking some of these trades because the market can just do the opposite, right? So yeah, we've got that impulse all the way there, and we've got this correction that's occurring here, right? I want to see reactions from this area. Even if the price gives us a nice break here, it's not going to bother me. I'm going to want to see it push back up and then off its way it goes, right? Hitting each point that we need to hit from our trends, right there, and potentially seeing it go towards the upside. Okay. Now, if you took sells, good, you made some money. I rather catch this whole move. If that move occurs, then trying to catch these small moves from here to here, right? Not really bothered about that. I'm more focused on what's looking to happen next. What are we looking for next? Okay. So obviously that's the first touch, went up to there, second touch went up to there, and I want to see that third touch to obviously continue breaking and pushing up. Right now, I'll react from seeing anything down here, how it moves. This would be a more early entry. Around up here will be more of a safer entry to target these highs, to target to the next level. Okay, but there's no rush, right? There's no rush in these markets. You stay patient. You wait for the market to give you these things, right? So instead of me looking for sells and looking for sells, I'm not really bothered about themselves, right? I'm looking at more of a bigger picture of where I'm wanting to see that market move to. And I'm not really bothered about being on smaller time frames, right? Because it's not really that deep. Of course, if you wanted to take some of these trades, by all means, you can take the trades. You know, it was a nice head, shoulder, shoulder here, right? It was a descending, right? There to there. Like these were easy trades to take, right? A lot of the way I'm trading, and a lot of it is like it's about being super, super patient, right? The market is not running anywhere. And if you do wait and be patient to catch these moves, you're going to make so much more. You're going to be so much chill. You're going to be so much more comfortable instead of chasing every single setup. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, when I started to trade, I was taking a lot of trades under the sun, right? And I was banking, right? Because I was like, yo, I need to make money, right? Everyone has a different time in their journey. And sometimes it's like you know what you're doing, so go ahead and do it, right? But then it also comes to a point where you're like, you know what? If I'm smarter on these charts, I can absolutely maximize my wins with less work, right? By just being patient. Now I understand that everyone just wants to make money, right? It's not just about making money. It's about getting better. It's about being able to leverage your account the best possible way. Okay, start looking at the market as investment, even if you are going to be trading on a smaller time frame. Still look at that smaller time frame as an investment. Don't be looking at it like you're just going in to just make money, right? It's not about making money. It's not just about making money. It's about making right decisions, about choosing and picking. And I want you guys to start being picky, right? Start being picky with your setups, right? I'll be very honest, right? You're going to make so much more money, right? If you are picky with your setups, right? There's the most amount of money I've made, right, is from catching great moves, right? And obviously, yes, you're gonna have to do more work and put more work in these charts, right? Start looking at this market in a different way. Start doing analysis. Start going back on your charts, right? And figuring out things how you can become better. Of course, you can do the things that I'm showing you, right? You have to be an artist. Like, who are you in these markets? Are you just someone that just goes and clicks buttons, or are you an actual artist, right? People that are good on the charts are artists, right? And if you think of an artist, they all have a story. They all have a journey, a way of how they paint, right? I know a really good painter, right? Who he puts a lot of tape on whatever he's doing. He'll draw fine lines. You'll be thinking, bro, what are you doing? And then he gets the cans out, starts to spray, and then when the job is done, you're like, bro, you're insane. Okay, some of you are coming here and think that you've got the final picture, but you've not actually painted nothing, right? And paintings, what do we know about paintings? They're worth a lot of money, right? Aim to be a great painter in this game, an artist, right? Aim to be a great artist and the money will flow, right? And that comes with patience. How long does it take to create a masterpiece, right? This is what I'm showing you is I'm creating a masterpiece, right? Now you may then, right, let's just say someone that's not in this group or whatever, right? I might be able to get into a setup, right? And the market pushes up to, let's say, up to here, right? And I'll post it on Threads or Instagram. Now you're like, oh my God, like, you know, he's a scammer, he's this, he's that. No, I've created the painting, right? Because I believe I'm a great artist. I work on these charts. I dissect it like an artist, right? So that's how you need to be moving, right? To be honest, the market may be doing what it needs to do tomorrow. You know, it may start it may not even start today. It may just trickle down the Asian session, and then New York might start pushing up, or London, right? It's about being patient and waiting and seeing how that market reacts from down there. Okay, so um, so yeah, let's see how the market folds, right? If you watched the video yesterday, we were speaking about gold and how I saw this potential move, and obviously how I see it potentially still pushing towards this highest point, right? So, talking about the situation where we are today, we can clearly see that we are in consolidation, right? And I kind of obviously I'm not going to explain what I explained yesterday because you need to go back and watch that. But I'm going to talk more on how I was able to get the setup, how I was able to get into that trade, and what I'm looking for next, right? So we go back down to a smaller time frame. We already clocked that we had an impulse correction, right? We have to anticipate to see that extra push out, which obviously we did yesterday, right? The market obviously came and touched these points, right? Remember, it's about probabilities in the market, not about what you think, not about, oh, it looks beautiful, the sales are on, no, you're just overthinking. Look at the charts. The charts is going to tell you all the time what it is that you need to do. At the end of the day, I follow the charts, regardless of what anybody can say to me. You could be trading 10 years, you could be posting Lambos on your Instagram and whatever, right? I'm going to stare at my charts. I'm going to look at my charts because I do the same thing consistently all the time. That's why I am where I am, right? So you have to trust your system. You have to trust what it is that you're looking at. I've got this line on this side because this is the double bottom, right? We had a double bottom here, right? The market never came back to retest this double bottom, right? It just decided to push up. We finally came back down all the way here, and the first initial touch that happened, which was this, the market is still bearish, right? There's no need for us to be looking and thinking, oh yeah, it's going to bounce off there and blow up. No, you have to wait for the market to chill. This is the traffic, right? I talk about traffic all the time, shift season, all of that, right? So this is the traffic, and we'll stay patient to see how the traffic is moving. Now, also, I clocked because we was coming down from New York, right? I was like, okay, maybe Asian session is going to have a little bit of consolidation here, but it might move very fast because we've hit here, and then now it's finally coming to hit, right? So every time it came to hit, we had some kind of reactions. So I have to be awake and I have to watch this area here to see how I can get into an entry around this level, right? Because my bias is already to buy, right? I already see the pattern, right? I already see what I've drawn on there. So I'm just waiting to see the reactions from there. Like, we're outside of our trends now, which is beautiful, which is perfect, right? And also, what do we want to see? We want to see a retest. So we came up to here, right? We came up to here to 50, and I wanted to see more of a deeper retest. Now, I don't know if it's going to come in Asian session, right? Just saying like what I kind of say all the time. If it's going to come further down, right, or if it's going to play around and then come further down, I don't know if the market is going to do that or it's not. It's just the market. We have to wait and see. But the reason why I sent the buys, is because we are in this impulse movement and we finally broke out. And there's been so many times when the market is in that impulse move and it will keep continuing because now sellers are going to be getting shook, right? So there's going to be more buyers that's coming in the market. So the daily finished well. The whole day's been bullish from that Asian session. So we just have to see how the market reacts. The same thing I want to see breakout, maybe relax here. And then, sometimes gold is on that aggressive just buys, stuff like this, right? You have to see how they move when they are on their buys, right? You have to see, especially when, you have to see how aggressive they move on these buys, right? And how aggressive they move when they are on the sells as well, right? When it gets to the top. But we can be seeing this market potentially can still be aggressive to push up, right? It's got no, like, it's got no friends with sellers. Like, what the hell? There's no friends with sellers because sellers already did their thing and he even came down, completed this, right? So now the buyers are starting to get in, and that's what we want to see. We want to see that continuation, right? If this market continues pushing up now and does this, this is a nice, beautiful double bottom, right? And if like obviously we still got levels to reach, right, and so on and so forth. But if it continues on that push, I'll be very I can comfortably say, if we are just continuing pushing, that we can get to above here, and then this could be a dangerous place where the market could actually crash out and blow up, right? Could do this and then blow up. Obviously, if you got into early entries, it's very good. We are still in good entries where we are right now. It's just about being patient, trusting the process. If you're happy with profits, then take your profits, right? Always just trust the process, trust the system. Okay. The guys that was in today, I respect that. You're putting in the work. You know what I mean? We're not going to be out here, not everybody's going to win, right? The ones that are going to win are people like yourselves, right? The people that are here at this time, right? It's 11 o'clock for me right now, but it could be, it could be 3 a.m. for you. It could be, late. It could be the same, right? So the people that are putting the work, you're going to get the rewards, right? Why do you think I keep getting the rewards, right? I keep getting the rewards because I show up every single day, right? I'm always putting in the work every single day, right? Even to now, I don't need to jump on here and start talking, right? But I appreciate you being here, listening, learning, because this is going to help you. I promise you guys. When I was learning, I wish there was someone like me, right? Who is dropping gems like this, who's really showing you how to look at these charts, right? Do you only, if you lose in this game, it's down to you, right? Not down to me, not to your mentor, right? It's because you are not putting in the work. You're not grafting. You're not studying. You're not going over the things that we talk about, right? And you're not taking risks. You're scared to take risks too, right? So get everything aligned, guys. Get everything aligned. There's people that have been in shift season, the people that have been watching me for a long time. I do this week in, week out, week in, week out. So take on board, because you're not bigging myself up. You're not just listening to someone that just is on a computer. You're listening to someone that really cares about your growth and wants you to win, right? And I'm pretty good at teaching, right? Everyone's saying that you're learning a lot. So if you don't learn, that means it's just down to you, right?
Yo guys, so now you guys have already watched the breakdown. I hope that you liked this video. Obviously I'm going to be trying to drop more trading content for you guys, because that's what you guys want to obviously see. Now I don't want to just make this trading content YouTube. I want to bring you guys along to the lifestyle, the things that I'm doing, so on and so forth. Obviously it's going to include the trading content anyways, because that's what I do. I'm always traded, I'm always on the charts, and obviously you can get some gems from this YouTube channel. But in order for me to continue, dropping these gems, showing you about the charts, so on and so forth, I'm going to need you to go and like this video. I'm going to need you to subscribe to this video. Let's be honest, guys. The only reason why I wanted to create this YouTube channel is to give back to you guys, right? But you guys also got to tell me and show me that you guys want to see it. So if this is the type of content that you guys want to see, then I need to see in the comment section, I need to see the liking, and I also need to see you guys subscribing. Okay? So yeah, man, PTP, patience to profit. But I hope you've managed to get some gems off this video, managed to get some gems on the charts with what I've shown you. And yeah, we'll go again. The market is open shortly. Right now it's 9:15 GMT time, and I'm just gonna go to my MetaTrader to show you guys that this is possible. That's possible, right? And just the breakdown that I've shown you is what I shared in the VIP live before it even happened. You can check the timestamps. Listen, we do it properly here at PTP. We don't play around. So make sure that you go and like, share, subscribe, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next one. Oh yeah, before I go, I gotta show you where I'm at. Right, so you guys can see I'm just chilling. This is the club room, and we are just vibing here. As you can see, there's some views down there, so on and so forth. But yeah, guys, last thing before I actually go, if you really want to make it in trading, you gotta lock in, right? You need to lock in, and you also need to follow people that want you to succeed and want you to grow, right? There's many things that I see online, right? So many people wanna throw shade, they wanna throw loads of different strategies, they wanna throw so much, right? And for you guys as a beginner, you guys need to understand trading from a simple level, and that's kind of what I teach. I like to show people how to grow from small and using patience to keep growing, using your journey. Everybody's got a journey. Use your journey in order to fuel you to get to the next level. We all have hard past, right? But we can't be out here saying, oh yeah, I had a hard past, I had a hard life, so what? We all had a hard life. What's the difference? I made it work. Others made it work. What's the difference between you? You're just chilling, right? Day by day keeps going past and you're not putting in the work. All you need to do is lock in for 3 to 6 months and you're gonna do well. I've created one of the most amazing products that is going to get you there. Shift Season 1.0, Shift Season 2.0, which is more advanced, right? First is Shift Season 1 for you to actually understand trading, how it works, so on and so forth. 2.0 is for you to advance to the next level. 30, 40, 50 hours plus worth of absolutely raw content that's going to grow you to the next level. That's including 1 and 2, right? In this game, if you want to really get far, you need to invest in yourself. Not necessarily from me, someone that you like the look of, someone that you see yourself in, and that's how you're going to go to the next level, right? Forget wasting time looking for free things left, right, center. You're gonna get confused. I'll be honest with you guys, you're not getting all the things that you need by looking at things that is free. Now I understand you can understand the basic levels of trading, going through free content, so on and so forth, and that's amazing. There's loads of things out there, but to get you to become profitable, you need a mentor. You need someone that's been through it, been through the hard times and come out the other side, right? You need to understand the journey. You need to have patience, and you need to build on them skills. These are super, super important. Great fundamentals for you in order for you to grow into the trader you want to be. There's a lot of money in this game, guys. A lot of money. But are you ready to put your life on the line to learn this game? Are you ready to risk? Are you ready to be on your own to learn the game? Are you ready to lock yourself in a room? Are you ready, right, to change your mindset, to grow, to level up, right? Some people don't want to change the things that is not going well in their life in order to get what's good in their life or what's waiting for you. The future is bright for every single one of you that's watching this video. But my question is to you, do you really want it? Alright, AJR, peace.